what we're going to do now is go to Melbourne. And it was the Grand Prix, the first day of a brand new season. And as my friend Andy Kershaw always says to me, Formula One. Has anybody overtaken anybody in Formula One this season? But people do get excited. Drive to Survive has been a great driver of interest in Formula One. So it was the first day of a new season, Melbourne. As luck would have it, my friend Watko, who, we've heard Watko on here before, Watko's out there. His wife used to work in Australia, so they've gone out to visit old friends and things. So he's gone to the Grand Prix. So let's now join our good friend Watko on day one of the Formula One season. We can now speak to somebody who was actually there at the Grand Prix in Melbourne. Watko, thank you ever so much for joining us.
G'day, Bruce. G'day. I've only been here a couple of days, Martin, so it's going to take a bit of time.
It's amazing. There a couple of days and you've already got the accent down to a T. So tell me about it. You weren't sort of in any of the VIP areas at Melbourne. You're there on holiday. You just got general admission, yeah?
General admission to Albert Park, so you just go in to one of the many different gates and you go and wander around there. It's actually a beautiful place, a massive lake in the middle. You would have seen it on the TV, absolutely gorgeous. And the actual track itself is a road when it's not being used for Grand Prix. So lots of people saying, I drive on this normally myself. You'll be disappointed that I've not bumped into Bluey yet, Martin.
Big fan of Bluey. My grandson loves to watch it. It's the one thing that keeps him quiet. The rest of the time he's running around the house smashing things. See him on the sofa. He watches a couple of episodes of Bluey and he's as placid as anything. So it's Australia's gift to the world.
No, honestly, it was fantastic. Obviously, thousands of fans there yesterday. Of course, today for you, I guess. That's the craziness. It's like I'm living in the future over here. But yeah, a lot of people supporting Oscar Piastri. So lots of people wearing all the OP clothing. Everything's big on Oscar because he is a Melbourne-born driver. And then what does he go and do? On the parade lap, he goes and crashes his car and means he can't actually take part. So all of that build-up for the Melbourne boy, Oscar. And in the Herald Sun this morning, they're saying Oscar's disastry. So very disappointing for him. And disappointing as well, obviously, for all the fans of Oscar who were there supporting him. That was kind of sad in a way, because you were sort of hearing it. There's sort of a tannoy giving you a little blow-by-blow account of what's actually happening, and it's like Oscar's out, and I'm like, is he out? That's weird. We've not even started the race yet. And then sort of it's filtered through, and you could sort of hear the murmurs in the crowd. The Australians, the Melbournians, they were not happy about that.
No, and you're saying that you're hearing everything on the tannoy. Do I take it from that you don't actually see much in terms of the cars and the racing?
Well, in terms, I mean, obviously, because you've got the VIPs are all in the stands and they spent all of the money. General admission, you have to sort of wander around the park, and there are areas where you can sort of stand on hills and you can see parts of the track, but not much of the track. So, and then these cars are going at 211 miles per hour. And we were sort of stood on the straight, and you don't really see them. It's like zoom, zoom, you don't see them. So it's exactly. But yeah, so. You don't see too much, and you're trying to take pictures of them, and you're sort of clicking away, and you look at your pictures, it's like, oh, there's no car on that. So, yeah, you don't see too much when you're watching. But I guess it's just that it's the noise that it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of nice to be there. I know people who've been to Formula One in the past and say the noise is a lot different these days and not as loud because obviously...
Well, these were different cars, weren't they? They're using hybrid cars now, which are sort of electric and petrol. That's right, isn't it? So
I think they're 50-50.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like if you get an Uber in London, the driver will almost certainly be driving a Toyota Prius. But I take it these cars are a bit of an upgrade from a Toyota Prius.
Well, definitely. Obviously, all the big guns, as you say, Mercedes winning there, the Mercedes winning, Ferrari and all that sort of stuff. And I was like, who am I going to support? So I Googled who were the worst team in Formula One, and Google came up with Alpine. So I decided I'd buy an Alpine hat, which cost me $80 Australian.
Blimey.
And I then went online and saw that I could actually buy it £15 on Amazon back at home. So I've been absolutely fleeced. Lots of people have been spending money this weekend on all kinds of sort of. I guess it's a way of printing money. Everybody's wearing their sort of chosen team, livery. They've all got the shirts on. They're about $200.
Yeah.
It's an expensive thing to be a fan of, I think.
But good for the Brits. I mean, I'm just wondering if there were many Brits, because 3 out of the first 5 were British drivers. I know Mercedes took 1 and 2, didn't they? Leclerc, I think Charles Leclerc was 3rd. But yeah, it was 3 out of 5 for the Brits. And I'm just wondering if there was much of a home crowd, an expat crowd there.
There was a number of people sort of like draped in Union Jacks, but mostly, I guess because you mentioned it, Drive to Survive, it's very much sort of obviously team-based, so lots of people walking around in the team colours.
Yeah.
So a lot of McLaren, sort of the orange of McLaren, because of Oscar Piastri. By the way, there's a new Oscar Piastri burger range, and it's all taste, no regrets. Unfortunately, he had a lot of regrets. And I didn't try one of them, but it was from a company called Grilled. So he left, obviously, the race very red-faced, as did I. I've burnt myself, Martin.
Oh, you silly boy. Because you're there for how long are you there? About 2.5 weeks in Australia?
Yes, 2.5 weeks. And on day 2, I've gone and burnt myself.
Yeah. You started in Melbourne, haven't you? And then, where else are you going? Are you going to the Outback? Are you going to Adelaide, Sydney?
We're going to Sydney at the back end of the holiday, but before that we're going to go to the MCG and we're going to check out some Australian rules football, or as they call it over here, footy.
Footy,
So we're going to check that out.
Watko, thank you ever so much. We will talk again during your 2.5 weeks stay.
I'm honoured, by the way, Martin, to be your man down under.
Thank you, Watko. I do feel that the all taste, no regrets burger ought to be the Edith Piaf burger. Non, je ne regrette rien.